Most people know Jay Leno as a comedian and the former host of The Tonight Show, but he's just as well known among gearheads as a serious car collector. So what exactly is sitting in his garage? A little of everything. American classics from the 1920s, Duesenbergs, Packards, you name it. Over the decades, Leno has built up a massive collection housed in his 140,000 square foot facility in Burbank, California. The lineup spans the full sweep of automotive history, from vintage classics and muscle cars to modern-day supercars, and the whole collection is estimated to be worth somewhere between $80 and $100 million. It's a reflection of a genuine, lifelong obsession with cars. "We've basically come full circle," Leno has said. "From the P1 to the F1 to the Duesenbergs, I love the sheer variety." With a personal net worth estimated around $450 million, Leno has made preserving automotive history a real mission. Here's a look at the 10 priciest cars parked in his garage.
Number 10. The 1967 Lamborghini Miura P400. When Lamborghini unveiled the Miura P400 back in 1966, it really changed the game for road-going supercars. This Italian masterpiece packed a 3.9-liter V12 mounted transversely behind the driver, putting out 350 horsepower and 279 pound-feet of torque. That was enough to sprint from 0 to 60 in roughly 5 to 6 seconds and top out above 170 miles per hour. Both were pretty remarkable numbers for the era. Between 1966 and 1968, Lamborghini built 474 Miuras in total, with 1967 being one of their stronger production years. The car became famous not just for its speed, but for its jaw-dropping styling. It really cemented Lamborghini's place among the world's top supercar makers. Now, Leno's example has a bit of an unusual backstory. He actually received it as part of a separate car deal after the original owner, Dean Martin's son, Dino, ran into some engine trouble with the car his father had originally gifted him. That mechanical failure led to the car changing hands, and it eventually landed with Leno at, well, essentially no cost. Today, it's valued at around $250,000, making it one of the more valuable pieces in his lineup. Leno has fully restored the car and regularly shows it off to fans, celebrating both its performance history and its place in classic car culture.
Number 9. 1930 Duesenberg Legrand Dual Cal Phaeton. Back in 1930, Duesenberg built the Legrand Dual Cal Phaeton, a luxury model that would fetch roughly $2.25 million in today's market. It ran a 6.9-liter inline-8, producing 265 horsepower and 374 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 3-speed manual gearbox, and only 445 units were built that model year. The Great Depression hit Duesenberg hard, eventually forcing the company to shut down production altogether. But its Model J lineup, launched in 1929, is still legendary among collectors today. Leno owns several Duesenbergs, including this 1930 Legrand example, which is now on its 4th owner, and holds a special spot in his collection as the most original, unmodified Duesenberg he has. He's noted that only 2 Model J Legrand coupes were ever built, and neither survive today. Leno had one recreated for his own collection, though he admits a reconstruction can't match the authenticity of an original. Generally speaking, Model J cars wearing Legrand coachwork tend to sell for more than other body styles, with top examples reaching around $2.85 million. In Leno's collection, though, this particular car carries extra value because it's untouched and matches its original factory specifications exactly. Other Model J variants, the bare chassis versions and the Rolston body ton car, are valued quite differently based on their own histories.
Number 8. 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. The 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing is a collector favorite, currently valued around $2.45 million. Mercedes built about 1,400 of them between 1954 and 1957,
each powered by a 3.0-liter inline-six, making somewhere between 215 and 240 horsepower and 220 pound-feet of torque, sent through a 4-speed manual. The car was derived from Mercedes' 1992 W194 race car, and by 1999, Automotive and Sport had crowned it Sports Car of the Century. Instantly recognizable for its upward swinging doors, the Gullwing could hit 163 miles per hour, making it the fastest production car of its day. Leno's example has a great backstory too. The owner reached out to him directly, and the car had been sitting neglected in a shipping container in the California desert since the 1970s. Leno, now its third owner, brought it back to life through a full restoration. Steel-bodied Gullwings like his tend to sell around $2.25 million at auction today, but Mercedes also made just 24 with aluminum alloy bodies, the rarest of which sold for a record $6.8 million at a 2022 auction.
Number 7. The 1929 Bentley Speed 6. The 1929 Bentley Speed 6 is valued at roughly $2,860,000. Bentley built 182 of them between 1929 and 1930, each powered by a 6.6-liter inline-six delivering 160 to 180 horsepower and around 400 pound-feet of torque through a 4-speed manual. Bentley dominated the early era of Le Mans, taking the win in 1924, then again in 1927, 28, 29, and 30. The Speed 6, introduced in 1928, played a huge role in the 1929 and 1930 victories, with its 6.5-liter six-cylinder eventually bumped up from 160 to 180 horsepower, enough for a top speed near 100 miles per hour, which was seriously fast for the time. "Look at this thing," Leno remarked. "You'd think you were looking at 3 cars in one." While best known as a race car, many Speed 6s were also built as fast, closed-top touring cars, especially in the early production runs when open 4-seat tours like Leno's were relatively uncommon. The model was eventually retired in 1930, replaced by the Bentley 8-liter. It remains one of the most significant British pre-war classics. Gooding & Company appraised a Speed 6 gurney nodding coupe at $3 to $4 million back in 2013, selling for $2,860,000. Given how much classic car values have climbed since then, Leno's example is likely worth considerably more today.
Number 6. The 1931 Bugatti Type 51. The 1931 Bugatti Type 51 in Leno's garage carries a price tag around $4 million. Bugatti only built 40 of them between 1931 and 1935, and it was one of the fastest Grand Prix racers the company ever produced before World War II. Under the hood is a supercharged 2.3-liter inline-8, making 160 to 180 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed manual, advanced engineering for its time. The Type 51 borrowed design ideas, including twin overhead camshafts, from the supercharged straight-8 American Miller 91 race cars. It represented a major step forward from Bugatti's earlier Type 35, which had ruled Grand Prix racing throughout the 1920s. Despite the tiny production run, the Type 51 became one of Bugatti's most celebrated models, a perfect blend of raw speed and meticulous craftsmanship.
Number 5. The 1913 Mercer Type 35J Raceabout. Mercer beat its rival Stutz and the Bearcat to market by about a year when it launched the Type 35 in 1910. Produced through 1914 in several body styles, the standout was the Type 35R Raceabout, a stripped-down 2-seat speedster often called America's first true sports car. It ran a 4.9-liter, 300 cubic inch 4-cylinder engine, producing 30 to 58 horsepower, enough to hit 90 miles per hour, which was remarkable at a time when even the fastest trains topped out around 60. Its blend of road and track performance earned it a reputation as the defining sports car of the American brass era. Fewer than 1,000 Mercer Type 35s survive today, and only 17 of those are 1913 Type 35J Raceabouts, which makes them extremely valuable. Recent sales have hit as high as $4.7 million. Leno actually bought his back in the 1960s for just $45,000, a reminder of just how much these cars have appreciated.
Number 4. 1953 Cunningham C3.
One of the more under-the-radar gems in Leno's collection is the 1953 Cunningham C3, valued at $1.2 million. It's been meticulously restored and looks essentially as it did when new. The car was built by Briggs Cunningham, a name synonymous with speed and racing in the late 1940s and early 50s, and it represents his pivot from racing into building road cars, largely to satisfy homologation requirements for competition. Despite its engineering and elegant design, the C3 never sold well commercially, thanks to a steep price of $9,000 to $10,000 per car. Only about 30 were ever made, which makes Leno's example especially rare among collectors. Power comes from a 5.4-liter Chrysler Firepower Hemi V8, fed by 4 Zenith downdraft carburetors, giving the compact car serious performance for its size. The chassis was built by Vignale in Italy, and the car assembled in West Palm Beach, Florida, a genuine mix of American muscle and Italian design. "There's so much airflow through this car," Leno joked, "you could practically drive it to New York." Number 3, the 1932 Duesenberg S.J. Murphy convertible. Leno's 1932 Duesenberg S.J. Murphy convertible is valued at $2 million. Leno has a deep love for Duesenbergs and owns several. They're inherently rare thanks to the Great Depression, which crushed production numbers even though the brand was already exclusive by design, catering only to wealthy buyers in limited runs. That scarcity, combined with exceptional build quality, has made Duesenbergs some of the most prized American cars ever built. The SJ designation means this Model J received a supercharger, boosting output significantly. Duesenbergs of the 1930s were already known for outstanding performance, and the SJ's massive 420 cubic inch dual overhead cam inline 8 produced an impressive 265 horsepower for its day. These cars were typically finished by outside coach builders, and Leno's was bodied by Walter M. Murphy coach builders. Because each one was essentially custom-built, pinning down exact values is tricky, but comparable sales confirm this one comfortably sits around the $2 million mark.
Number 2, the 1994 McLaren F1. In the mid-1990s, McLaren dropped the F1, a supercar so far ahead of its time that it's still considered a benchmark today. Just 106 were built between 1993 and 1998, and each one was hand-assembled to a standard of near-obsessive precision. At its heart sat a 6.1-liter naturally aspirated V12, the BMW-built S70/2, producing 618 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, routed to the rear wheels through a 6-speed manual. The F1 was also groundbreaking for its lightweight carbon fiber monocoque chassis, designed by Gordon Murray, which boosted both rigidity and performance. Combined with its aerodynamics and advanced suspension, the F1 could reach speeds over 240 miles per hour. Leno was among the enthusiasts captivated by the car, and he actually imported the very first McLaren F1 into the United States for his personal collection. Today, his F1 is valued at an estimated $24 million, a testament to how rare and historically important it's become. In fact, the car's value is so extreme that McLaren's own insurers won't even allow more than 2 F1s to be stored in the same location at once, given the financial risk if something went wrong.
Number 1. The 1934 Duesenberg Walker Coupe. The 1934 Duesenberg Walker Coupe holds the top spot in Leno's collection for one simple reason: it's completely one of a kind. Only a single example was ever built. It runs the same 6.9-liter, 420 cubic inch inline 8 found in other Duesenbergs of the era, producing 265 horsepower and 374 pound-feet of torque through a 3-speed manual. The car was originally ordered by Josiah K. Lilly, head of the Indianapolis-based Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Company, and its coachwork was handled by the well-known custom body shop Walker. Standout design touches include a sleek, sloped roofline, twin bumper braces that echo biplane wing struts, and a distinctive V-shaped windshield. The grille alone cost $1,200 back in the 1930s, real money at the time. Over the decades, the car passed through several owners, from Lilly to a New York City politician, and eventually to a gas station owner who, bizarrely, pressed it into service as a tow truck. Eventually, a serious collector recognized its significance and had it painstakingly restored to its original condition, and from there, it made its way into Leno's collection. Today, this Duesenberg is the single most valuable car Leno owns, with estimates placing it anywhere from $20 million to $30 million. It's a number that makes sense given comparisons to cars like the 1935 Duesenberg SSJ, once owned by Gary Cooper, which sold for $22 million at auction in 2018.
Jay Leno's garage is packed with some of the rarest and most historically significant cars on the planet, each carrying its own story. Which one of these would you most want to take for a spin? If you enjoyed this look inside Jay Leno's collection, do us a favor and hit that like button. It really helps us out. And if you want more deep dives into legendary car collections, rare classics, and automotive history like this one, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an upload. Drop a comment letting us know which car on this list you'd choose to drive, and we'll catch you in the next video.